First 7 months of the year, we've had some really good Jordan releases, and here are some of our favorites. Make sure you like the video and comment your favorite shoes of this year and maybe something you're excited for, and then send a, what's a word called now?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. That's the word.
Send a subscribe.
Send a subscribe. And make sure you subscribe.
So before we get into kind of the meat of this list, I will say these are...
You can't say meat.
Why? Okay, sorry.
No, just keep going, say meat.
Before we get into our personal lists, I wanted to do a couple honorable mentions. I know Evan's got a few as well. What is so funny?
I don't know. I have no idea. Just do your thing. Just do it. Just
All right. So for my honorable mentions, and I'm not going to dive too deep into these, the Air Jordan 12s. I like both of the colorways, but I prefer the white ones. It's a little easier to wear for me personally. UNC 5s. I feel like a sleeper for one of the best releases of the year. Could definitely make my top 10 Jordans at the end of the year list, but the ones that I think I've ranked above it, I just like a little bit more. And then the last one was the Jordan 1 High Vibrations of Nyjah. I really, really think those shoes are super, super clean, very slept on. My only problem with them is the laces. I hate the laces that they came with because they're not the standard laces, Jordan 1s. We'll throw a picture up. Those laces, hate them.
I agree with you. Those laces are bum. I actually surprised those were in your honorable mention though. I was expecting those to be in your list.
Really?
Yeah.
There has been, I look back, there has been some good releases.
I'm excited to see what's on your list now. I have some controversial honorable mentions. I got some questionable, maybe. What would you call this? Stop laughing at me.
Questionable. It's a personal list.
All right. Okay. So this is a personal list. Keep that in mind. This might be controversial, but in my honorable mentions, I have the Travis Scott olives. Like, it was an okay release. It felt like it didn't have as much hype as some of the other Travis Scott releases. And if it didn't have Travis Scott's name attached to them, I think we all know that we wouldn't really be that interested in them.
I agree.
But my other honorable mention is the 85 black and white Jordan 1s. Solid, clean colorway. I like what they did with the 85, but it's kind of like what we've seen before. We've seen a lot of pandas and black and white shoes recently. I felt like it was just kind of part of that, which is fine, but there's no flavor.
Kind of bland.
Yeah.
Clean
Not
though.
a problem. Yeah, clean. I still want a pair.
Nice and simple.
Don't want to pay for a pair, but if you got a pair you want to give me, I don't say no. Am I jumping into the list?
Yeah. Is yours in an order or is it just?
It's kind of random. I have a toss up for my favorite, but the other two are just kind of whatever. So starting off with the list, I got the Spider-Man Jordan 1s, the Across the Universe. I am Spider-Verse. Universe? That's the next year's version.
That's the friends and family release.
Yeah. No, but the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Jordan 1s. They're really cool. I love how many different materials are, and you can see them actually in the movie, which I thought was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because everybody was trying to get rid of them as soon as they hit. Mm-hmm. Like, shock drop, everybody was coming in trying to sell them. And now that the movie came out, I feel like everybody's trying to get them, and prices, but it's still going up. Like,
they've kind of settled, but I imagine give it another month or two, I think things will go back up.
Yeah, and I thought that was a little interesting, but.
Great colorway. They glow in the dark too.
They glow in the dark. I walked into the theater and I looked at my feet and I was like, I am so cool right now.
I feel like it's a very underrated thing to do to shoes, and it feels very childish to have that as like one of the things that makes a shoe good. But I don't know what it is about that pair, but with the glow in the dark sole, I love them.
And it's bright too. It's one of the brightest glow in the dark soles I've seen. So what's on your, what's up?
All right, so mine are in no particular order. I will start with the olive Jordan 4s. So same color blocking as Fire Red 4s. They just use that olive, obviously, colorway, that shade of green. I just think it's a really clean pair. Like, I really like that color and the way that it's working with the black and the white on the shoe. Very easy to wear. It's
a great colorway. And the mock-ups before they came out, it was pretty similar to what actually did come out. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. Can't get them in my size, which sucks. Or can
you wear a 10.5.
But 4s are tight. You can't do 10.5 and 4.
All right.
All right, next up on my list, I love these so much. It's the AJKO Unions, the Union AJKOs.
Which colorway? The leather pair or the canvas pair?
I love them both. So, okay, I like the swooshes more on the canvas pair, but I like how the leather pair has like suede, and they just overall nicer. They're heavier. I feel like I can put more fits together with them. So I'm gonna say the leather pair. I have both pairs, so I can switch up the swooshes. So I don't know, I love them. They're so easy. They're so easy to wear.
Underrated.
Underrated.
Very underrated.
The leather pair's at like 170 right now.
Yeah.
And the canvas pair's like 150. That's retail. So if you don't have those and you're looking for back to school shoe, I would grab those.
Great pickup.
You can switch out the swooshes. So many outfits. Perfect back to school shoe.
Next on my list, I've got the Jordan 1 Low OGEX Coconut Milk. So, what? I know. Not a lot of people probably saw this.
I did not see that coming.
I love the dark smoke grays that they dropped last year, and I love like the different textures and the way that the shoe was like built to almost make it look like it was like a raw finish on the shoe. And with the coconut milks, it's essentially the same thing, but just in reverse with the different colors. Very clean, very easy to wear. I also feel like they're like more comfortable than like regular Jordan 1 lows.
They can move. The material is so flexible.
Yeah, it doesn't look flexible, but like when you put them on your feet, it's like kind of trippy. But I love those.
It's almost like the new double layered Converse. I feel like when you put your feet in those, they're rigid for sure, but you can still move and they feel really good. And they're breathable.
Yeah.
They don't get sweaty and hot, which is nice.
That's another pair though, very cheap right now.
How much are they at?
They're like at retail. So like they're like around $150.
How do I not have a pair? I thought they were at like 200.
No, they're really cheap right now.
Gosh, what am I doing? Next up on my list, I love this pair. This might be one of my favorite ones of the year, depending on what comes out the rest of the year. But it's the Reimagined Jordan 3s. I love them. I don't know how I feel about the cream midsole. I think it's growing on me. I just feel like when you actually get a pair that's original pair, it's not the midsole that's aging. It's usually the rubber on the front and on the sole, which it was a little bit weird, but it's not bad. We see white and creams mixed together a lot, especially now. So they're not bad, and I love them. They're so easy to wear. I try not to wear them because I want to wear them so much.
I love them too. Like it still feels like a classic colorway with like a new school look, something that's like refreshing to like kind of breathe life back into a silhouette. And I love that they did it like the Jordan 3 with the first pair this year to do a Reimagined, because I feel like the Jordan 3 needs some love.
It does.
Like it really,
I love the Jordan 3
it
so
needs some
much.
love. And the colorways they've been putting out lately have just not been it for me. I'm not enjoying those.
Yeah, and people are sleeping, like they're comfortable. I'll choose those over like my Sakai's any day.
Jordan 3s are very comfortable.
Yeah, and especially the new, what are they, like the shape, they went back to more of the original shape of the shoe, where the collar is a little bit thinner and the tongue is a little bit thinner. And so it just feels better on your foot, I feel like. Some people may disagree, but I like it.
Yeah. All right, next on my list, I have the Jordan Airship Pe in the Dune Red colorway. I know.
Where is this coming from?
I really like this shoe, even back in, I think it was 2020 when they did the New Beginnings pack that came with the Jordan 1 High and then also the Airship. And I think the story behind the Airship is pretty cool, how it really came from an Air Force 1 initially, right? And then the Jordan 1 was eventually kind of developed from it. But there's a lot of history behind the shoe, and I love to see that they're kind of starting to bring it back and, you know, give it some life, give it its time to shine. And they've dropped some really, really good colorways. The Dune Red is my personal favorite, but the neutral gray colorway that they dropped a few weeks ago, that's a really good colorway as well. They even dropped like a orange, it's like the same color as like the taxis that drop. That orange that's on the hint. I love that pair too. So I definitely see myself in the near future getting a few pairs of those.
Yeah, like they're kind of going back to the roots. Because if we didn't have those, who knows if we would have had the Jordan 1. Of course, it would have had a Jordan 1. But
and if we didn't have those, we would never have banned Jordan 1s.
That's true. Y'all go crazy for those.
It's a good story. There's a good article. You guys can go read about the Airship.
No, we'll make a video on it.
No, we won't.
Yes, we will.
Okay, maybe we will.
I'll do it.
All right.
All right, next on my list, this is in no particular order, but the Pine Green Jordan 4s. I love them.
Has to be.
Such a good colorway.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything about that shoe that I don't like.
Except for they look a little bit like Christmas. Somebody showed that to me and it's ruined it a little bit. But
I don't feel like that's true. Just because of the red Jumpman on the front?
The red and the green and then the brown. I don't know. I love them, and then somebody was like, it looks like a Christmas shoe. And I was like, you're kind of right. But I still love them. Still want a pair. Still haven't gotten a pair somehow.
Because they're expensive.
And I keep buying neutral grays. I need to stop.
That's that.
Yeah, clean. Good materials.
Very, very good quality. I wore mine for the first time this last weekend. I was honestly in shock to how comfortable they are.
I've heard that because they're an SB, which is a little bit interesting. I don't really know if anybody would skate a 4. If you do, let me know.
They do. I'm sure people skate.
I'm sure, but I feel like there's no board feel. I don't know.
The gum bottom, right? The heel tab being more flexible, not as rigid. The extra padding in the ankle, and then the zoom unit. I think everything about the shoe. I know they
I didn't know that.
I know they designed the shoe obviously to be skated in. That's why it's an SB, but it has become very popular very quickly. And I think one of those big reasons was because of those different features they did and how comfortable they are. And then of course the Nike Air stamp on the back.
With the SB.
Need to have it.
With the SB.
I need it.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, my last pair, going back to another classic, the Thunder 4s. I wanted to make my list different from Evan's. I agree with a lot of his, but I just feel like the Thunder 4s are being very greatly underappreciated right now. I know stock was high. There's been a couple restocks. At this point, really, if you don't have them, it's because you don't want them. Like there have been plenty of opportunities to get them. Some people are like Evan.
I don't like them.
And they will stay in the dark And what?
All right.
That's just a fact. Thunder 4s are a classic Jordan 4 colorway.
That's true.
I know they're not an OG, but I feel like that's almost as close to OG you can get without actually being there, without the Nike Air stamp. But just the black and the yellow is super clean. I love that they kind of did the Red Thunders last year, almost as like a predecessor, as like a hint to the return of these. They're pretty cheap right now still. I do think by holiday season and next year, early next year, they'll be more expensive. But I mean, it's a classic, truthfully. Timeless.
The only thing for me is I don't really wear too much yellow. I don't wear too much black. Like I can appreciate the story behind them and like how original
Evan, we know how you
but
feel about shoes with the black midsole.
Hey, they are terrible. So put a white midsole on there, take away the yellow and take away the black, and good shoe.
Just make it a white cement instead. It's a great shoe.
White cement, yeah, pretty much. And when it comes to making an outfit, it's a little bit harder, but they're cool. If I had a massive shoe collection, they'd have to be in there, but I don't, so they're not in there. And I don't want to spend money on them because they're ugly. But
all right, everybody, come for Evan in the comments for the Thunder 4 disrespect, because I'm not gonna have it.
Well, let me know if you hate Jordan Thunder 4s as well. That was bad. I don't know what just happened.
You were close.
Let me know if you hate Jordan 4 Thunders as well, because they suck. That was a little harsh.
Some fighting words.
They're not bad. They're not terrible. I just wouldn't go out of my way to buy them or wear them. And if somebody said, here you go, there's a present, I would be a little bit sad.
All right, well, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, hearing some controversial takes from this guy over here on my right. Make sure you hit that like button, comment down below if you feel like we missed a pair. Again, this list was only Jordans and it was our personal picks. I didn't want our list to overlap. I chose some different things. But if we missed a pair that you like this year, be sure to let us know. I know we didn't talk about UNC toes. That's a great pair.
Reminds me of the taxis.
Subscribe if you aren't already to get more videos like this weekly.
Yeah, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing?
If you want to get shout out in the next video, get down in the comment section and comment Thunder. And that's the end of the video.
CleanKIXG.
In the video?